I understand that there's good reason to think that Will Smith is struggling with some kind of deep insecurity. He's struggling with trauma from his childhood. He grew up in a household where his mother was being beaten and he always felt like a coward for not protecting her. I understand why people see the connection between him slapping Chris Rock in defense of Jada and his childhood. I understand it. And I think it's a massive miss. Just over the last week, he's had to resign from the Oscars or the Academy. I guess he had several projects going with Netflix, with Bad Boys. All have been put to the back burner. It says sources he's under an incredible amount of stress. And I guess he's headed off to rehab, some kind of celebrity rehab, to lick his wounds and self-reflect and grow from the experience. And I think most people look at it and go, well, this is good for him. Clearly, he had a breakdown. Clearly, he's under an incredible amount of stress. It's some kind of confluence between his deep insecurity, the open relationship with Jada, Chris Rock's constant criticism of Jada over the years. I understand why people see that, and there's definitely an argument to be made there. I just doubt that being at the Oscars at that moment with that joke, that Will was really offended enough, distressed enough to lose control and lash out. I don't think he had a break. I think it's just as a side note, was anybody really offended? Do you think Jada was really offended? Given her tenure and experience in the entertainment industry, given her time on Instagram shaving her head, you think she was offended? Do you think Will really was that upset? I don't think it was that significant. Instead, I think it's a consequence of his desire over the last 3 or 5 years to present as sort of a motivational and optimized person, right? He's on there talking about his relationship. He's talking about his emotions. He's writing super transparent books, discussing how he rears his kids.
There's never been infidelity in our marriage.
Never been infidelity in a marriage?
Never. Jada and I talk about everything, and we have never surprised one another with anything ever.
Will explained to the mag in part, quote, Jada never believed in conventional marriage. But the experiences, that the freedoms that we've given one another and the unconditional support, to me, is the highest definition of love.
It's a relationship, absolutely. I was in a lot of pain and I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself.
And to me, what's happened is both of them have been so focused on presenting this ideal image that they're not really attending to how they actually have felt. Instead of being in the relationship, they are talking about the relationship. They are living sort of outside the relationship. And that relationship then becomes very performative. And so I think Will's at the Oscars and Chris Rock makes a joke. Jada performs like she's not happy with it. And Will goes, how do I need to act? I know what I'll do. I'll demonstrate chivalry. I will protect my wife. He walks up there, slaps Chris Rock. His son, Jaden's online saying that's how we do it. And I think it was all a performance. And I think that Will thought by doing that, people would praise him. And you know what? They did. The people at the Oscars, the people that were there, they're clapping for him. He comes down, he gets dapped up by so-and-so, gets to get a pep talk from Denzel Washington and Bradley Cooper. He gets an award. He gets a standing ovation. In that world, he's right. He gets praised. And then he leaves, and that's when I think reality hit him. And that's the problem here, is that it was all a performance. He was happy before he slapped him. He was happy after he slapped him. But this was not a guy that was unable to regulate his emotions. He gave a pretty impassioned speech for a guy that was unregulated, right? But he leaves, and he's struck with reality. And I think now, of course, him and his publicist have written a really well-written note saying, I'm so sorry. I think now he truly is grieving the mistake he made. But the question is he grieving the right piece? Is he dealing with or focusing on his deep insecurity and sort of fixing the trauma from his childhood? Like, that's what everybody seems to think he needs to work on. I don't think so. Instead, I think he should be working on his ego. I think he should be working on reality testing and seeing how the people around him actually experience him. I think it's a great thing for him to go to rehab. But if it's a rehab where some therapist is going to sit there and massage his shoulders and tell him to feel his emotions, I don't think it's going to be productive. He needs a rehab where the therapist is going to be honest with him, transparent, reality test with him, give him tough feedback. That's what he needs. So I know that's an unpopular decision. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for listening.